So you can tell I haven't been to a wedding in a while. Went and got the card today, right? No flash, nothing flash. Just a plain, ordinary card. Very, very classy, elegant. Not even Hallmark. Not even. Ask me how much. Go on. How much do you reckon? $15. I know. Get yourself up off the ground. I know. I fell off my seat too. $15 for a card. I actually said to the person, $15? Have you got that right? She said, yeah, it's $15. Outrageous.
Hell, Sydney, since when did we start charging absolutely criminal prices to have cake at a restaurant? I feel like this is a new thing too, because it only just happened to me at the start of September, and we actually bought a cake to the restaurant and they told us that we couldn't have it unless we all wanted to pay a $5 per head surcharge to have the cake that we bought. And then this is the third restaurant that I'm going to tonight that has said it will be a $10 charge, $10 per person to eat the cake that we have bought. And I know people are going to say, oh, the fridge sizing and everything, but have fridges changed since 6 months ago? I'm so confused, especially the cost of living. Like, people are only going out now to celebrate. And a lot of celebrations include cake. This is starting to taste a lot like Domino's value range pizza with cake at home.
Whilst the Labor government have been so focused on the Voice to Parliament referendum, spending over $450 million, so many Australians and Australian families are struggling with the cost of living crisis. Here are just a few examples of the last 15 months under the Labor government. Gas prices have risen 28%. The cost of electricity has risen by 18.2%. Insurance has risen by 17.3%. The cost of housing has risen by 10.4%. The cost of fuel has risen by 7.2%. Australians are paying 15% more on income tax than they were a year ago. And these are just a few examples of the cost of living crisis that Australians are facing. I totally understand that inflation is definitely a major issue, but for the Labor government, who promised everything to be cheaper under them, especially the cost of living, it doesn't really look like that's happening. Instead of helping Australians who are struggling with this cost of living crisis, they went and spent over $450 million on a referendum that so many people, including so many Indigenous people themselves, didn't want. So just remember, sometimes people are all talk and no action.
Just have to have a rant. The cost of living in Australia is fucking ridiculous. Like, when is this going to stop? And Woolies and Coles, you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves at the price gouging you do week in, week out. Like, seriously? Is this ever going to stop? I read a statistic the other day that Australia has the highest rate of depression, anxiety, suicides, all that sort of mental health stuff. Any fucking wonder. It's a struggle to live in this country. It is an absolute struggle. Like, I'm lucky. I just have myself and my daughter who is going through uni. I just have to support 2 people. But seriously, people with like 3 young kids, I don't know how you do it. And I really take my hat off to you. But fuck me. Like, the politicians get richer and they put all this legislation in that is great for big business. It's great for all you big bloody kahunas, all your CEOs, all your friends, all the ones that you've got to pat on, like secret handshakes, whatnot. But you know what? Us people down in the lower echelon, in the suburbs, we're just struggling. And I just don't know what it's going to take to change. And if you think if you want to move to Australia to live, don't. Unless you're a CEO of Woolworths or Coles, you'll be right then, because you're just absolutely ripping the Australian public off. Just blindly ripping them off. And that's okay. Like, it has to stop. Someone with a set of balls needs to be in Parliament and just stop this madness. But unfortunately, they're all ballless in in Australia's parliament, and that includes the women. Like, seriously, someone has to do something. This is just, it's just got to stop. It's tiring. It is fucking tiring having to struggle to live in this country. And look, I earn a decent wage, so I cannot even fathom lower income people, how they survive. Like, my heart goes out to them. It really does. I don't know how you do it. And if you do it, like, you have so much respect from me. But this has just got to stop. It's fucking depressing.